see your face. For he that waits and prays. I know the Lord. Any better do on the God. He will roll the sea away. Then forward still be Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and sway, with a concrete strength we will push ahead and roll the sea away. Look here now, man. Sickness comes, he will roll away. He comes, sickness away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sickness roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll all the sickness away. He roll all of the bill they will pay. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. Roll the sea away. Roll the then forward still is Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and spray, with a concrete strength we will push ahead and roll the sea. One more time. Then forward still is Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and spray, with a concrete strength we will push ahead and roll. One more time. Lord, he roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. Roll the sea away. Problem come, he roll it up. Sickness come, he roll it up. All the pandemic roll it up. All the problem come, he roll. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Somebody else say, Jordan roll. Jordan roll. Oh yeah. And do thy work thyself. He say roll. Jordan roll. Jordan roll. To heaven when I die, he go hear the Jordan roll. Take it up. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. All of the problem roll up. All of the sickness roll up. All of the bill them roll up. Everything problem. Yeah. He rolled. Hallelujah. Glory. Thank you, Jesus. Whatever you face this week, forward still. Whatever mountains come in your way, forward still. Yeah. Whatever, if you book your tour, forward still. Yeah. Disappointment come, forward still. Yeah. Woo. And if another pastor fall, forward still. After the pastor we are follow. We obey with pastor, but we are follow Jesus. Forward still. Young people, walk holy, make the right decisions, walk right, walk holy, Ramandosia, Rakandarabasiondarabosa, walk holy, forward still, it's Jehovah's will, though the billows dash and sway. With a concrete
Dr. Brown's Arthritis Remedy and Joint Oil Pain relieves muscular and joint aches, arthritis, sciatica, headaches, menstrual cramps, foot pain, and is also a great sleep aid. Manufactured by Jamaican scientist Everton Brown, PhD, from a blend of Jamaican herbs. Shop www.jamsweet.com or call us at 813-679-0106.
Caan Organics gives you back your smile. Are you frustrated with your skincare? Are you tired of acne, blemishes, scars, sagging skin, wrinkles, discoloration? Why not enjoy our wide array of products from skin, hair, and personal care? Place your frustration on our shoulders, and we will get you smiling again. The power of our products are in our formulation and ingredients. Listen to our customer testimonial. This is what she has to say.
Oh my gosh, look at my face. I've been using these products for a year, exactly 1 year. If you have not tried them, you need to try them. They really work. Look at my skin.
Visit our website or contact us at 917-557-6204 and order yours today.
Having sleepless nights worrying about identity theft? Then you need Legal Shield. We're here to protect you and your family, your business, and your personal identity with 24/7 identity theft protection. We safeguard your security with identity and credit monitoring. Not only will we alert you about threats, but we'll also provide tools to monitor your online presence and notify you of any unusual activity. We'll work tirelessly to restore your identity to its pre-theft status. Legal Shield goes beyond credit reports. We offer full credit monitoring and identity theft protection. Need to sign contracts or documents? Landlord or tenant issues? Received a traffic ticket? Worried about child safety? Or maybe a real estate transaction? Legal Shield has got you covered. Visit our website or contact us at 703-678-6265. Legal Shield, your shield of protection.
Mayo LiveScan provides live scan fingerprinting services for a wide variety of state agencies, individuals, businesses, and more. Whether you are required to be fingerprinted by a government agency or for employment, call on us. Our trained staff will take your fingerprints and submit to the appropriate state or federal agency for processing, with results back within 48 hours. We aim to provide you with the highest quality service you won't forget. Call us. We will be at your service wherever you are. Our experts and trained staff will ensure that you get the highest quality service required. Visit our website at www.mayolivescan.com to schedule an appointment with us now. Mayo LiveScan is the way to the future. Contact us today.
KG Shipping and LPK Shipping from USA to the Caribbean. The most reliable to the Caribbean. We specialize in shipping and freight services from door to door, serving West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, and Delaware. KG Shipping and LPK Shipping is your gateway to the Caribbean. We offer our service locally and intrastate. Relax in comfort as we take your shipment from the port to your door. Visit our website or contact us at 301-773-5402 or 1-876-221-6765. Leave the hassle to us. We ship from a pin to and anchor. We are safe, reliable, we deliver. Call us now and ship with us today.
Get something on with it. Get something on with it. Get something on with it. Rock a rock 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 on with it. Come on. you know what he has done for you, just give him praise. Rock and praise him. Dance and praise him. Wave your hand and praise him. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. My God, David was one of the greatest musicians. And I hear this musician playing. Give God glory, musician. Tell them, play a little David. Play a little David. Play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Me say roll, Jordan. Me say roll, Jordan. Roll. My God, Church of God this evening. God is good. Yes, God is good. God, for I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. Oh no, me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to walk right in there. Me ever walk right in there. Me ever walk right in there. Me ever walk right in there. A river Jordan a roll. 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 Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Let the deaf man hear, and the dumb man talk, and the blind eye see, and the crippled man walk. Roll back to bank, roll back to bank, roll back to bank, roll back to bank. A river Jordan a roll, a river Jordan a roll, a river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan. I feel like praising. I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me a fit it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me a fit it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me a fit it when you roll. Me want rock and praise it, boy. Me a fit it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Boy, river Jordan a roll. People make you roll, make you roll. Boy, a blessing make you roll. Yes, a blessing make you roll. Boy, are your blessing make you roll. Yes, are your blessing make you roll. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan rolls. Somebody shout and praise.
Heat life, he life, he life.
Yes, comrades! Youth and youth! Undecided voters! PNP coming again! So tell your neighbor, tell your friend! Green man I ride with like mule, and I take the nation for fall! But we have a new name for him! What his name? Him name Eli! Bangarang! Oh, retired at the labor pay! The drive across the bus and the country going down the drain! Yes, we tired at the labor pain. Poverty of us we shut and we going insane. Why? Eli. At the new name for the bus driver. Eli. That's all you hear from every corner. Eli. The name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday. Good time on a Sunday. Eli. Hear this. Eli tell we say him a go build up the country. Put money in our pocket and end poverty. Promise the farmer them a go drive SUV. No him crash the bus, him a blame PNP. But Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. If he go sit down back in the harbor, him too lion out of order. Lie. Oh, we tired that the labor paid. The driver crash the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired that the labor paid. Poverty a bus we shut and we going insane. Eli, the union for the bus driver. Eli, that's all you hear from every corner. Eli, in name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli make big promise to teach a nurse and police. Promise to give them big salary increase. Promise jobs, more jobs and good economy. But no him crash the bus, him a blame PNP. But Eli is a rookie driver. Eli, him cannot run Jamaica. Eli, if he go sit down back in the harbor. Eli, him too lion out of order. Eli. Wanna remember this? Eli from a party new from the scene. Swear say him done with the kerosene and the green. I'll never go back to that. Him tell the country now him greener than green with no credibility. Eli, at the union for the bus driver. Eli, that's how you hear from every corner. Eli, him name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli is a rookie driver. Eli, him cannot run Jamaica. Eli, if he go sit down back in the harbor. Eli, him too lion out of order. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday, 1 o'clock.
A blessed afternoon, Jamaica. Hear me there afternoon and a good night. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night, Jamaica. Good night, students. As I come to this space tonight, I was reminded to do one thing. And that was, can you share up this live, students? Can you share up this live? Oh, no, say me get a good beating. Yes, me get a good bossas. Me get a good bossas, Jamaica. Me get a good bossas since evening. I made it think me that get it. As the show done. No. Madam, come fixing up in the business. Right before the show, Lord Jesus, me have to just wash off the tears. Me have to wash off the tears and come. Come a class. Come a class, students. You know what today is, Jamaica? Today is the 10th of October. Hold a second. Today is the 10th of October. You know what today, what day is today, Jamaica? I'll do it full up a green. Today is World Mental Health Day. What today is? World Mental Health Day. And because today's World Mental Health Day, you know, I've always said to you students that as a mental health advocate, somebody who champions,
You know, them not really use me up for talk about mental health in Jamaica, you know. Them use up them braggadocious friends for talk about mental health. But you know, I'm not afraid to tell you that I was diagnosed as bipolar manic 2017. I was diagnosed as bipolar manic. There's several different mental health struggles. You know, a lot of persons suffer from schizophrenia. Some suffer from ADHD, post-traumatic stress disorder. You have schizophrenia and bipolar, both bipolarity. There's so many categories. And a lot of people, it is said that 4 in every 10 Jamaican suffers from mental health. You see me on TV just since night? Really? But I believe that it's a higher percentage of Jamaicans that are suffering from mental health struggles. But as we talk about mental health today, you know what is very important to also talk about Jamaica? Whether or not you're checking on your friends. Whether you're checking on your friend, check up on their mental stability, check up how them stay, your family, your loved ones, etc. I'm not going to say to you, bipolar disorder it can be a good thing and a bad thing in some sense, but people who bipolar are smart, bad, you know. Bad, you know. Bad. If you should check Jamaica, some of the people across the world who has bipolar disorder, you'd be surprised. You'd be so backside and so them bright. Yeah, man. And we are perfectionists. We're hard workers. There are times when we don't know when to stop. But the long and short of it, Jamaica, is that it's mental health season. Today's mental health day. And we just have to give a smile, give a break, check up on somebody, check up on your neighbor, check up on a family. That is reasonable. And I realize that a lot of people, when you talk about mental health, them love to laugh off of me and discriminate and talk about me a madman and me a this and that. I go say this too, you know. One of these days, uno I go regret all of the labels when I call me. One of these days, uno I go regret all of those labels that you call Andre Stevens. One of these days. But I still appreciate everybody who check in and check up on me. And I will keep educating and keep edifying and keep liberating those who I can. And I want to say to everybody who watches my program, I really appreciate you, because a lot of people, when you hear of madman and man with mental disorder, you know that say, no, me not listen to him. Nah, listen to him, a madman that. But I realize that majority of Jamaicans don't see me in that light. And because of that, I appreciate. So for all who appreciate what I do and what I say and how I inform you, I'll keep doing what I can do. All right, Jamaica? But in light of what I said to you tonight, we're talking about what is happening in our society. I'm equally concerned about the violence that is taking over our schools. I'm super concerned, Jamaica, about the violence that is taking over our schools. Are you aware, Jamaica, that yesterday a vendor in Trelawney used a knife to slash, Jamaica, to slash 2 students. I'm going to say it again. I'm not sure if you're aware, but as I'm speaking tonight, Jamaica, yesterday, it is said that a vendor, the police is looking for a vendor. I've gotten the picture of the alleged vendor who carried out the act. This is the man that is said to have committed the act against the children. This is the man that is said to have committed the act against the children. I gather that he used his knife and slashed 2 children yesterday. So if there's anybody who knows this man in the Trelawney area, I'm kindly asking you to send me the information so we can know his name. I'm saying it again. Anybody out there who knows this man? According to them, they say him sell cotton candy. Them say him sell cotton candy. So I'm saying to you tonight, if anybody know the cotton candy man in a Trelawney, and I gather if him sell cotton candy, he wouldn't station at one school. That means him go to multiple schools. But here is Favour Williams. Listen to Favour Williams and what she's saying. Listen, Jamaica.
Over the past 24 hours, 2 incidents of violence among students involving knives have come to my attention. Needless to say, these acts of violence among our students are unacceptable and deeply concerning. We know that our schools do school bag searches to prevent knives, guns, and other harmful weapons from entering the school compound. We ask our principals and the safety and security teams to increase the vigilance, broaden the scope of the searches, including unannounced school bag searches during school hours. We also know that many of our students struggle to manage strong emotions like anger or frustration due to undeveloped emotional regulation skills and therefore may resort to aggression. So students, I implore you to access any or all of the support available at your schools. Additionally, I saw a social media video of an altercation between law enforcement and a student. I'm also deeply concerned. I call on our students that in dealing with our law enforcement personnel to comply with lawful orders promptly and do not resist or argue on the scene. This will minimize misunderstandings and reduce the potential for escalation. If you feel your rights are violated, again, Do not argue on the scene. Instead, document what happened immediately after and seek legal counsel to address it formally. I call on all Jamaicans to do their part in eliminating violence among our students.
I'm calling on all Jamaicans to do their part in eliminating violence among our students. Have you seen the video, Jamaica, of what happened between the police and the students at Hydel School? I'm not even going to call her the mummy or the walking dead today. We don't have no time to deal with that. But have you seen the video? Look at the video with the police and the students.
Police beat up schoolboy because he walked away while talking to him.
Police them gonna fire now. You know why I go pass out a Mandela when I go? I never stop. I never stop video that one. You know, so me see some them police here. I get like some bloods and scare box. I look me see man and go stop and start thump youth in belly. I need the panic gun and you can't move. You know, say man and go start handcuff you and start and pull you to the handcuff panic. I school you that now. In spite of what I'm doing, no matter what I'm on though. Yeah, cause I see the youth though. Me, I watch everything I go on. I see the youth though. I kissing teeth and walking man at 30. But that I give the right for box youth in a uniform. You see, a box youth in a uniform and thumb in their belly. That I give the right. And the principal support it. One schoolgirl is a video, next police gone to the girl say, yo, you can't video. Oh, you mean the girl can't video? When they deal with you them, so how expect you them to grow up? You did use like a criminal, him a grow as a criminal. You did use that respect in him change. You can't expect you to deal with youth, so. But no, you use fuck up on them, they call you the evil, but that's said. Teaching the right thing.
Help. We key out of the letter.
We need your divine intervention.
Jamaica. As we reflect on how policing is done in this country, are you realizing that our police don't get enough training to deal with different sectors of the society? Are you realizing that the hardened policing is done right across the spectrum? It is not a case where the police is applying a different scenario when dealing with a student. It's not a case of I've seen multiple videos and you realize how police deal with even women in this country. They are very hardened. They don't have any kind of specialized intervention training. Who would agree with me on that argument? I'm not saying you're not supposed to discipline or scold the child or the student, but there are different techniques. There are different scenarios that must be presented when dealing with different sectors. Who agree with me? If you don't agree with me, no problem, But my point is, as a student, the student shouldn't even be in a handcuff. The student shouldn't even be in a handcuff, Jamaica. Who agree with me in that statement? The student should be detained. The student should be detained, not handcuffed. But then I realize that policing in this country is all gangsterism. It's like them a deal with cold-hearted criminal. Even if the child hits his teeth, or even if the child that is nowhere to deal with the picnic. But then, there is an argument that being detained you can be handcuffed and be detained. Okay, if I saw the law say, I saw the law say. But what did the child do? I'm not even going to say child. What did the teenager do? But you know them not do that at a certain school do. Because if I up a camp in a Hillel, them not do that a camp in a Hillel, you know. Them not do that a camp in a Hillel, you know. And they sure not do that a immaculate, you know. But because poor people picnic go hide there. On deal with the people them picnic because they know say nothing now come out of it. If it was up a campion, the police would have to come off with immediate duty of a front line. I want not tell me say Jamaica. Bullyism and classism in this country. And it needs to stop. Bullyism and classism in this country needs to stop. The said way how you would have policed. And I wish I can get the name of the child. Anybody out there know the name of the child who the police did that to? Tell the child to reach out to Partner Draw TV. We're going to make an example out of them. Who agree with me? Can't beat up people picnic like that and turn them in a cold-hearted criminal. Anybody know this the little boy will get the beaten out there? Tell him to reach out to Partner Draw. We're going to get a human rights attorney deal with them business. Enough in this country now. Because we get sanction from the wicked Prime Minister about deal with them and make them meet them Jamaica. A picnic Jamaica. Picnic, and picnic must be dealt with according to the Convention of the Rights of the Child. That Jamaica is a signatory to. Only don't know about the Convention of the Rights of the Child. Only don't know about the Convention of the Rights of the Child. When I'm talking about tonight, a lot of you don't know. Jamaica is a signatory to the Convention of the Rights of a Child. And if you're a signatory to the Convention of the Rights of a Child, there are international laws that the police force must go by. And we need to set a precedence in this country. And that is why Jamaica, you find so many children don't like law enforcers. Where are the school resource officers? Where are the police community officers? Those are the people who must be dealing with these students, you know. Favor she go and come out. The child should go and seek legal this and that. You as minister should condemn the police, Favor. Condemn them. You, Favor, it's your duty to condemn them and find who are those policemen. But no, that's not your duty, Faval. Not your duty. But I want, if I papa it, I want the school name. Ilela AISK, that would go on, you know. Classism at its best in this country.
All right. Partner draw. Partner draw.
Classism at its best in this country. I am not saying that these students these days have full manners, but there is a way in which you can reach your children. And that is why you don't get the support of communities, because of the hardened way in which police is policing in Jamaica. And all I am saying tonight, Jamaica, looking at what is happening, all I am saying to the powers that be tonight, that those police must take me off the front line. They shouldn't deal with students. They shouldn't even go back to school. We're signatories to different conventions in this country. Is who is calling me. Hello, good night.
Hello?
Yes, good night.
Good night, sir. Before I forget, I just want to touch on this point that you're making about the students. Yes,
Are you the student?
No, I'm just...
Yeah, but no, you can't call me now to disrupt the program. Do that tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You hear? Is the student I would take on, if anything. All right? God bless you. If it is not the student, me no want nobody call me. Please and thank you. Me then at the heights of me thinking cap. And when I think, all right, students, this is another thing only need to understand. You see, when me I go like this, me no want nobody stop me with no calling. Because it will throw off me thinking cap. All right? So if it's not the student, don't call. Or the student parent.
Already thief.
But all I am saying tonight, Jamaica, to the police in this country, there are different ways and methodologies to reach students. There are different techniques that you could have used. So if the parents are out there, the parents should remember that they can call me. Send me a WhatsApp. We're going to get a human rights attorney to deal with this, man. Okay? I am asking any human rights attorney out there to reach out to me so we can discuss these matters. On to the next thing. Hi, students. Una na hear wagwan Guyana. Me not think una hear wagwan Guyana. President Ali. President Ali is giving away to every Guyanese household $200,000 Guyanese dollar. I'm going to say it again. Hey, my God. And that the world this government must do and beat Guyana. Hey. Only never hear about it.
Much?
President Ali, the president of Guyana, I not say Ghana, you know, Guyana, or Caribbean neighbors, are giving off a one-off payment of $200,000 to the Guyanese household. So if a 3 million household in a Guyana, 3 million household in Guyana will be getting $200,000. Coupled with that, he has made a commitment that no civil servant will be paid less than 100,000. Okay? But the Guyanese dollar not so strong, Jamaica. But I want you to know that the 200,000 equate to approximately 1,000 US. Still not bad. Still damn bad, Jamaica. At least them I get 1,000 US dollars. I will not get 20,000. Lord Jesus, see everything I drop. How much you not get, Jamaica?
20,000.
Well, how much mass 28 ago now? 20,000.
What can go so?
And how much it work out to? Hey. And 50,000 and no can get the 28,000. Eh? 50,000 now no can get the 20,000. But at least President Ali, realizing the struggle of his Guyanese people, are saying, and you know, on top of that, in say that the University of Guyana will be abolishing university fees. So that means that every native of Guyana will be able to go to university free. So your government are going 120 US and the Guyanese are get 1,000 US dollar. And when them done, them telling us say it's the best thing the government going to 20,000. 20,000. How much is 20,000 Jamaica? 120 US dollars. And that Nigel and Amasa 28. Massa 28. And I know when you must get the money, you know, go here say money run short and this and that and Ray and Tay. But the Guyanese getting them money. So when I see it, I say, boy, this look good, man. And remember, says not a lot of no qualify for the 20,000, you know. A 3 million Jamaican, but are just 500,000 people qualify for the 20,000. And out of that, about 50,000 already get disqualified. You know that? 50,000 now already get disqualified. But you go take the 120 US dollar. It can go buy 2 little groceries for in the Christmas. When you can buy 2 little groceries, go buy a ham, 1 chicken, 5 pound flour, 5 sugar, 5 flour ham, right? 1 bread, 1 2 pound sorrel. No, at Christmas, 1 2 pound oxtail.
Yeah.
1 pound of beef for pot roast. And 1 3 pound. But the backside.
Money done already.
That's what me just call. That even that we put in the juice.
Money done already.
What a bangarang! In Jamaica. So when me talk just a while ago, only say money done. Some money done Jamaica when you take the money go large. Say na Jamaica. So when you say Andre, you obviously don't shop. I mean one in a so when me go to supermarket, me not really take up too much things. Lord God, money done government. I said no far no go here one of them say no fi go on the place go pick up the money. Wait until the judgment. Wait till the judgment catch you know. Anyways, Jamaica. Una ready for the bangarang again? Only here in the Prime Minister about the economy. The man said the economy can yam. What a man Renk and rude. The man said the economy can yam. Play the video, producer, play the video.
Employment is expanding, more people have income, exchange rate is stable and free, inflation is on its way down. The public debt has gone down to the lowest it has ever been in 30 years. At the end of this fiscal year, we will be below 70% debt to GDP. All of these that people say, oh, it sounds so good, but by condition. Yes, we cannot ignore that we still have a lot of people who are poor. We cannot ignore that we still have the bad roads that people complain about every day. We cannot ignore the challenges with water. In the recent by-election, when I went into communities, I was confronted by people complaining that they have been without water now for how many decades, and they want their water now. And no matter what I try to explain to them that, yes, we are putting things in place, I want my water now. And I can understand that frustration. Because it's not that they don't have water. It's that they look across at Draxall and other communities and say, but look how they are developing, and nothing is happening in my community. So, I want to put the two things together. That the development of Draxall and the investments that are being here, it is important that this be done so that we get the tax revenues and we get the people employed so that we can then take the dividends from these foreign direct investments that are made and now invest it in the people. And that is a commitment of this government, that as we pursue the economic development and getting the macroeconomic variables right, the dividends from that, rest assured, the dividends from that will be reinvested in the people in tangible ways. That is why we did something like the reverse tax credit, never before in Jamaica's history, where the government is giving back to people who earn less than $3 million per year. Never before happened. That's a way in which we are making sure that the dividends of the good economic management reaches to the people. Yes, good economic management can Nyam.
Aye! Hear what the man say? Jamaica! Good economic management can Nyam.
What can go so?
Jamaica, Lord God Almighty God. No. The man said, only hear what the man just say. Good economic management. So that means, say, you know, the debt to GDP can Nyam. The exchange rate can Nyam. Unu what else him say can Nyam? Him say good economic management, you know. The foreign investment can Nyam Jamaica. Hey, the man Renk and rude, you know. The man Renk and rude, you know. The man say good economic management can Nyam. I wonder if him know how much people tonight are go them dead hungry. No, Jamaica people. The man said good economic management can Nyam. People of Jamaica, are you witnessing, are you feeling the effectiveness of good economic management? I'm just asking tonight. The man look at you, the ordinary Jamaican who's suffering, and tell you, say, bad, good economic management can Nyam.
He like.
Are you aware, Prime Minister? Under this effective good economic management, approximately 2 million Jamaicans can't have a proper meal per night. Are you aware, Prime Minister, that under your watch, there has been an increase in the amount of persons who wishes to be on the PATH program? Are you aware, Prime Minister, of the number of Jamaicans who are suffering in this country? And you're going to look at the people to tell them good economic management can Nyam. Under your watch, you know how much for a bread now? Under your watch, you know how much for a pound of chicken? Under your watch, Prime Minister, are you aware that people's livable income is affected by the high inflation rates? I don't think he's aware. Inflation under your government, Prime Minister. Inflation! Talk about inflation, Prime Minister. You can't talk about that. You know it's time for you to, sometime.
No matter how good you are, if you stay for too long, you spoil it. A good dancer must know when to leave the stage.
And he's not even a good dancer.
Nah, dance.
He's not dancing. People of Jamaica, this is let me put myself together, because I have a guest tonight, and
Calm down a little bit.
I need to calm down so we can go talk about all things health for a while. Not a stranger to the program, but let us welcome Dr. Alfred Dawes, the spokesperson on health and wellness for the opposition People's National Party. Dr. Dawes, good economy. Kenya.
Good evening, Andre. Good evening to everyone who is tuning in. Andre, I'm worried about your blood pressure.
Why?
You make the people stress you out, man.
You did me stress out. My blood pressure normal, Dr. Dawes.
Half of Jamaicans, 30% of Jamaicans, 1 in 3 have high blood pressure. Half of them don't know that they have high blood pressure. Them think the pressure little high sometime, and them drink a hot beer or some coconut water or some beetroot, and it come back down. So come by and we check your pressure and make sure, because you're gonna make them send you to an early grave, because they're not stopping what they're doing.
So we have to take them out so the Jamaican people pressure can go down.
Boy, I tell you, it's probably a part of the reason why we see so many chronic diseases uncontrolled.
That's true.
But everybody's stressed out. We're stressed, not sleeping, we're not eating properly, and no good economic principles and management can't eat. We need nutritious food.
Dr. Dawes, we are in the month of October and we celebrating this month breast cancer awareness. I know that you are an advocate for breast cancer awareness. You want to start talking about that? What is the situation with cancer treatment in Jamaica, etc., etc.?
Yeah. Well, where I wanted to start is to really give people an idea of what is happening with cancers, not just in Jamaica, but across the world. And then we'll focus a little bit on what's happening in Jamaica. Because we're seeing worldwide an increase in the number of people getting cancers. And it's not that the population is getting older, where we're seeing an increase, because you'd expect that, yes, as you age, you're more likely to get cancer. What's happening is that you're seeing a shift now where younger and younger people are getting cancer. So a lot of, we said that we should screen, for example, breast cancer starting at age 50, but you're seeing some women in their 30s getting breast cancer now and more women in their 40s. Similarly, colon cancer, the number of colon cancers under age 50 has tripled over the last 10 years. So is it the food? Is it what we're exposed to? Whatever it is, we're seeing a rising number of cancers. And the thing with cancers, no matter you eat right and exercise, the number one risk factor for getting cancer is bad luck. As simple as that, because you don't know. Most people who have cancers, they may not have a family history of it to say that it is a genetic cause. Yes, you have some families that tend to get more cancers than others. But, even non-smokers, people who we love to talk about red meat, that's not so much of an issue now. But we do have quite a number of cancers worldwide. Now, the problem with Jamaica is this. Our cancers, we are growing in cancers, the number of cancers we're seeing annually. But the problem is not unique to Jamaica, but it is seen in a lot of countries. We are seeing these cancers diagnosed at a higher stage, meaning that it gone bad already.
Yes.
By the time they present. So for breast cancers, too often we're seeing breast cancers being presented when they're advanced, meaning that they started to grow and spread into the skin. They start to go under the arm, what we call the Waxan canal, like the lymph nodes, or spread to other areas in the body. Prostate cancer is the same thing. A lot of men are picking up prostate cancer when it has spread to the bones or has spread outside of the organs, and is when it starts to affect the nature. They're really going and check it out. Colon cancer is another one again. That's the third leading cause of cancer. In females, it's third. In males, it's second. Overall, it's third. But colon cancer, 75% of the colon cancers discovered here in Jamaica are advanced. Now, what that is telling you is that we're just not screening for cancer. So I like most of the talks that I give, I speak about the pillars of good health. We hear that we must eat right and we must exercise. But the third pillar is that you have to screen, because you don't know when you can develop a cancer or a chronic disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. As I said, half of Jamaicans don't really have a diagnosis of high blood pressure. Similarly with diabetes, about 13% of the population is diabetic. About half of them don't know. And a lot of times when they drop down in a diabetic coma, or they get a cut and the cut can't get better, that they realize, they say that the blood too sweet, and that is when they get that diagnosis of diabetes. So we have to screen. We have to check. Even when you're healthy and nothing wrong, you want to pick up these conditions when they're not at the stage where they're causing obvious signs and symptoms. And for breast cancer, that's a mammogram. A mammogram is like an X-ray, but is a very lightweight X-ray. The light shining through is very dull, and it's supposed to get the film dark. If you have a cancer in the breast. Now, cancers tend to have attract calcium like chalk. So when you look at the mammogram and you see this area where it look chalky, like some little speckles, it could be a cancer that is what you call in situ, meaning it hasn't developed the ability to spread yet, or it could be a full-blown cancer. But you pick that up at a stage where you are not feeling a lump, or you don't have anything on the arm, or you don't have any bloody nipples, or bloody nipple discharge, or anything like that. That is a way better prognosis, meaning that it's easier to treat, it's cheaper to treat, and you're more likely to get a cure than if you pick up a cancer where it has already spread. Similarly with colon cancer, unfortunately, we're picking up colon cancer when you're seeing bleeding, obvious bleeding, or the tumor has blocked up. Prostate cancer is even worse with men because men just don't screen. So the majority of prostate cancers that we pick up are advanced prostate cancers because we're not doing the blood test, the PSA. Most men don't want the finger up their butt. So they just don't go in for screening. You know, I don't know what the figures are based on what we get, but WHO estimate that just over 80% of men who are eligible for screening for prostate cancer, meaning that you're over age 40, they've not gone in for screening because they're afraid of the finger. And the truth is that...
So is there an alternative to the finger?
The blood test.
So there is a blood test that can be done.
Right.
Confirmed.
But again though, some men don't want to go. All right, so I did a screening 2 days ago, and we had to put up a big sign. No, we had to make it highlighted in the email going out. No finger, and that is how we got, the men to come in and get the screening because it was the blood test. But even then they were making jokes about it and saying they came to, some guys said they come to look and make sure there's no finger before them. They get the blood test.
Oh, okay.
There's a cultural taboo, and it's not just Jamaica. Is the Caribbean, North America as well. But the thing is, prostate cancer affects more black men than in the Caribbean than any other area or race in the world. So we're at highest risk of dying from prostate cancer. We may not have it in Jamaica. We may not have the highest rate in the world. I think it's Guadeloupe or one of them islands there. They're much, much higher than us. They screen, so they pick up their cancers earlier. We, like I said, is when the boy not working good. That is when men go to doctors or, they block up and get stoppage of water. And I said this again, I've said it a lot of times, it's not black pepper that causes stoppage of water.
Is what causes stoppage of water?
For most instances is the prostate. The prostate can be swollen from a condition we call BPH. No, that is not cancerous. That is just it grow big. Right? The prostate is a little gland in between the bladder and at the base of the penis. And it's about the size of a guinea.
Yes.
And it produces the liquid that mixes with the sperm to form the ejaculate, the semen. And it helps to make the sperm be in a state where it can get the fertilize the egg and get the female pregnant. But over time, men naturally get a bigger prostate. It may grow very large. I've seen prostate as big as a grapefruit. So you move from the size of a guinea to a grapefruit.
Wow.
You understand that is a serious growth. So it's going to, so what passes through it is that tube, the urethra that comes from the bladder, goes to the prostate and then through the penis. Right? So if that blocks up, that is how you get the stoppage of water. You get frequency, you go to the bathroom often, urgency, you have to run. You have to wake up in the night to pee a couple times. And then after a while, it may just block up completely. It may get urinary tract infection because the urine stagnant. In a stagnant water, just so it starts smell after a while. So the urine will develop a urinary tract infection. So I've thrown a lot out there, but the moral of the story is that we are in a time now where cancers are increasing.
Yes.
You can choose whatever reason you want to believe for that. But we have a reality that cancers are increasing. You can eat right and exercise, and you're still at risk for cancer. So you have to get screened.
So we don't have mandatory health cards that gives cancer screening. Like the government is not at a place where it make it mandatory. If you were to form a next PMP government and as health minister, would you make it mandatory for women to be all Jamaicans to be screened for cancers?
Well, I've made presentations to the executive and the NEC about my thoughts on how we should approach chronic diseases, cancers, diabetes, high blood pressure, and so on. And I think that the best spend we have for the health dollar in Jamaica is in primary care, meaning that you screen and treat the diseases before you get a point where the patients have to go to hospital or you have to do complex surgeries and so on. I'm going to answer your question, but I digress. Just to emphasize that point, today I was at KCMC seeing some patients. You know, it was the World
Homeless Day.
Right, World Homeless Day. So we were there doing some, I didn't get a chance to do much screen because I recently, but talking to a gentleman, he has 2 days worth of insulin left to control his diabetes, and his next appointment to the clinic is at the 28th. Now, guaranteed, if something is not done to intervene, and luckily the social workers made aware of his situation, intervene.
Yes.
But if that man did not get his insulin prescription refill, guaranteed he would have been in the emergency room of the hospital. So you understand that a failure at primary care leads to the overcrowding in the hospital.
In the hospitals.
And unfortunately, we have gutted primary care and we're putting up a lot of big buildings for hospitals and not understanding that it is primary care that is, it's better to out the fire in the kitchen before it spread to the rest of the house. Better you out it on the stove. So that is my approach, and it's not something that's unique. It is something that is well established. Jamaica did very well in the 60s, getting rid of a lot of these chronic diseases, polio, YAS, TB, and so on, by focusing on primary care. And that is where I think we ought to shift the focus again to put the money, the resources in primary care.
You're saying you have no problem building out infrastructure, but you would have spent a significant part of the budget into primary care.
Primary care. Control the diabetes, control the high blood pressure, screen for the cancers. Now, I wouldn't say mandatory, but one of the proposals that we are looking at, and we have to figure out how we're going to fund it as well, and how to make it available to those who need it the most, is a national health insurance. Now, if you go back into
national health insurance,
just like how you have Obamacare, you know, we would have to do something like that here in Jamaica, because you can't say you have free health care and you need to do a surgery, you have to buy the mesh for the hernia, you have to buy the stitches to come back. You know, if you're doing eye surgery, you have to buy the knife for them to cut the eye. All of these things, you know, they cause a serious problem. But to answer your question, I would enact a program so that screening is available and screening is affordable or free for Jamaicans who want to take that up. You can't mandate people, but you have to educate people to understand that, hey, you might afraid to find something, but if you're really screening, you know anything you find, you're going to find it early. So it's really and truly screening gives you peace of mind that you can't have no advanced disease popping up on you. Because anything you're going to find, it is going to be precancerous or easily treated. And then you treat it and go about your business again. Is when you're afraid to go screen because you don't want to find out and get any bad news that you are likely to get a diagnosis for an advanced disease years down the road. And in screening, I've found so many colonic polyps that would have gone on to turn into cancer. You know, we have found so many precancerous or pre-invasive cancer, the cancers in the breast that would have likely turned into the invasive cancer that can
Yes.
spread. We have found so many of them as well. Any woman who has cervical cancer now, it is a failure of the system, because we know that with a pap smear, you can pick up the cells just as they are turning into the cells that can go on to become cancer. And you can treat it. You can get rid of it completely. But right now, we're not doing enough pap smears. I don't even know if there is, there maybe is one working mammogram in the public health system across Jamaica. I believe there's only, and I'll stand corrected if it's not one, it is two. So let me make it, I don't think you have more than two. It may be just one mammogram in the public health system across Jamaica to serve all our women.
And there's how many facilities? About 14 hospitals across
No,
Jamaica.
we have 23 hospitals in Jamaica.
23.
And at most
Out
two
of the
mammograms.
23, you only have 2 mammogram. Might? So
you understand the issue where I'm saying that we are failing our people, because a mammogram costs, you can get a good refurbished mammogram, if that's the route you want to go, if you don't want to spend out a big bucks. So 25,000, 30,000 US, and you get that installed. You're saving so many lives.
Yes.
And the cost savings that you get from picking up an earlier cancer, where you just cut out the lump, is completely different from telling a woman that you have to take off her breast completely, or you have to give her a round of chemotherapy to try and shrink a tumor so you can do the breast conservation and then the radiotherapy and so on. It gets very expensive. If you're doing radiotherapy privately, it's going to cost you about 25,000 US. That's over $3 million. Almost 4 million. So, and we have machines that keep breaking down.
Dr. Dawes, you just said, where I'm gone, I think. You're saying it's only 2 mammogram machines in the country.
Hello?
You hearing me? I'm not hearing me, Dr. Dawes? Hold a second. We're not hearing you. Sign in and sign out back. As we reach the point for talk about what happening in the public health sector, honestly say, hey, you guys hearing me? Are you hearing me? YouTubers, are you hearing me? Okay. As we reach the part for talk about what happening in the healthcare system, and as I say, system a problem. But in the name of Jesus, we're going to have the discussion tonight. I hope you guys are enjoying the discussion thus far on healthcare in this country. Get him back on the screen for me, please.
Right. Yes, I lost everything you just said a while ago.
Okay, let us start back. So you're saying approximately 2 mammogram machines are functional in the public health care system. How many persons can one mammogram machine service?
Well, one of the things that you realize is that if you don't take out some of these machines, give them some rest time so you can do servicing,
Mm-hmm.
What happens is that you'll run it right through, and then it breaks down, and it's a problem to get the parts and so on. And most of the time, you have to get the parts from overseas, which is what happened to my machine right now. Last year I was offering free mammograms. This year, I don't even have a machine that's working. I'm trying to get it online. Some unfortunate incident, but if you're running full capacity, it's difficult to say, because then you have other variables like the radiographers. We have a lot of radiographers. Not every radiographer does mammography.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make sure that you have those. You might have issues with booking and so on. But running at full stretch, I mean, maybe 10 to 15 per day is reasonable.
So on average, then, in the truth.
And if you're running full blast 5 days a week, I mean, even say you're doing 25 days a week, 400 a month. 4 to 40.
Totally inadequate.
Yeah.
So then that means that there's a high probability that we have significant portion of our women in Jamaica who have a breast cancer and not realizing.
Yes. And Andre, why I say, boy, I really need to do better and try to do these shows more often and make more videos. There's a lady who came in and said that she saw me talking about colon cancer on the show, your show, and came in and did a fit test. When we had done that, we had done a give it, but I think she came in, did the fit test, was positive.
Really?
And found something. So, when you do these things, you're doing a service. So somebody watching, unfortunately, has some cancer where if they don't go and check it out, or some precancerous lesion, if they don't go and check it out, it's gonna result in something serious, unfortunately.
So are you able to start your like a treatment plan or something like that?
Yeah, naturally. But it's finding out. That's the big thing, and finding out early enough.
So on average, how much is it to do a mammogram in Jamaica?
The cheapest is, I think, Cancer Society at 5,500, but most places is like 8,000, 8,500, 9,000. One place has it for about 18,000.
18,000 to do a mammogram test?
Different technology. So it varies, but if you don't have that money to go in and do it, it costs you a lot more in the long term. But there are people who genuinely cannot afford it. I told, when I was doing my thing last year, I told a friend of mine, he's in politics on the other side though.
Hey, Lord Jesus.
No, man. You still have people cross the fence. And I said to him, why don't you send some of your people come? Because it's not a political thing that I'm doing. I just, joke about it and say, just don't make them wear green come. But he said, even though it's free, when he checked up how many buses they have to take from his constituency to come into Kingston and back to country, that free mammogram suddenly became something that's $10,000.
Oh.
Because of the taxis you have to take and the bus and all of these things. So when I said the priority that I would have as Minister of Health, are to make it affordable or free
across the country
and accessible. Because it can be affordable, but it's not accessible.
Oh, that is true.
So people can't get to where they need to go. You need to have a mammogram in every single parish. You need to have a cervical cancer screening, programs across every parish. You have to have an endoscopy unit where they're doing colonoscopies in every single parish. It can't be a situation that like what exists now, where if you are bleeding, passing bright red blood, and that is a clear-cut symptom of colon cancer. The date that you are getting in the public system for a colonoscopy is in 2026.
Whoa.
That cannot continue to happen.
So you're saying
so
that
when you wait,
clear blood,
obvious sign. So, but you understand now why 70% or 75% of colon cancers on diagnosis are advanced. If you pass in blood now and you wait in a year to get confirmation with your colonoscopy, what do you think they're going to find? Even if it's a polyp this year, it's going to be a cancer next year.
Whoa, I'm so afraid.
So there's a lot that needs to be done now for healthcare in Jamaica, because the average person simply cannot access good healthcare.
I want you to answer this question, and probably you answering will put Jamaica in a scare. Of the 3 million Jamaicans that exist on this island, what is your estimation of the healthy percentage of Jamaican?
Well, all right. Let's break it down. So when you're looking at simply overweight and obese, we have about a 33% obesity rate.
So that means 1 million Jamaican obese.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
So
now that you put out the wrong numbers.
No, we have to put it in reality. So of the 3 million, approximately about 1 million of us are obese and overweight.
Well, it's 54% obese and overweight. So yeah, half of the population overweight are obese.
Mighty God.
Half of Jamaicans are overweight or obese. Now, when you look at that by itself, that's a lot of health issues. You know, we might talk about fluffy and so on, but if you look at a lot of the especially the women who have been, you know, talking about body positivity, and I'm not trying to body shame anybody, but Lizzo, she was on the bigger side and she has lost a lot of weight, and she was one of those people who were talking about, you know, loving yourself. For health reasons, she decided to lose the weight. Miss Elliott is another one. So there are quite a number of people who were speaking of body positivity who they decided for health reasons, and in some instances a health scare why they decide to lose the weight. So I don't encourage my patients when they come in for weight loss to try and stick to that BMI scale, because Black people built different. And I remember every time I used to lose weight and go down to a normal BMI, my grandmother used to worry, so I'm too mager. So we are built different. So it's not to say you want to be skinny and stick and bone, but once you're over a BMI of 30 into the obese range, your risk of developing all of these conditions start to skyrocket, you know, compared to somebody who's smaller. And what is scary is that the kids are getting more and more obese.
Yes, I was about to get to that. Yeah. What is the population like of obesity amongst our children?
I can't remember often if it's 9% or it's in the teens, but it has been a significant increase. It's growing by about 1% a year. I'll have to look at the figures. But, you know, the problem is that when you're growing, so, you know, they make jokes about fat cells being immortal. They can't die. So you multiply fat cells. So one fat cell divide into 2, 2 going to 4, 4 into 16, and so forth, with while you are growing and putting on weight.
Mm-hmm.
When you're about age 19, age 20, you have the final number of fat cells in your body that will last you for the rest of your life. So when you put on weight after age 19 or 20, it's the fat cells themselves that get bigger, move from the size of a tennis ball to a basketball, and back from a basketball to a tennis ball when you lose weight. But you still have those same number of fat cells. For kids, they multiply. So it's one tennis ball turned to 2 to 4 to 6. The problem is this. Fat cells just don't sit there like a warehouse and store fat. They are like a factory. They produce hormones. So this is why you'll see a lot of women with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. They may have irregular periods, infertility issues, insulin resistance, may end up with diabetes. They may have a lot of acne on the face, hair, and so on. That's because the fat cells are converting hormones. And then when you're trying to lose weight, the fat cells work to produce hormones to try and slow down your metabolism. It's like an accountant. When you're burning up more money or burning more calories, it's the same thing. Your accountant going to slow down on the spending and save more. So it slows down your metabolism and tell you to store more fat to try and sabotage your attempts at diet. So which is why you will be eating a lot of, you may be eating not much and lose 20 pounds. And then you're eating the same amount of food and you don't lose another ounce. So that's your body making the adaptations. Now with kids, when kids have all of these fat cells growing up, those fat cells stay with them for life. So if you are an obese child, it's harder for you to lose weight and keep it off in adulthood. And you are more likely to develop chronic diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, and so on at an earlier age. And that is the challenge we're having. So unless we, as a nation, start to make better decisions, food, and as a country, the government needs to put in place methods for us to eat healthier. You know, because
eating healthy is one thing. So you're saying creating a national diet plan, is that one of the things that you plan to do?
Right. So, you know, give credit where it's due. Jamaica moves us good in terms of encouraging physical activity. But I really and truly what we need is to teach people how to eat. Because you can go to the gym.
Is one thing. Can Jamaicans afford to
eat? That's the other thing. And we have to teach people what are affordable meals. So some patients will come to me and they say that, you know, vegetables are expensive. But then when you ask them what vegetables is, the cauliflower, broccoli, and so on. We have callaloo and cabbage still.
Cabbage about 300 a pound.
Well, that's true. So, you know, backyard gardens, whatever it is, we have to look at using the arable land to plant the food that we are going to eat. Grow what we eat rather than putting up a bunch of houses on the most fertile lands. And that is where we have to go. We have to look at the junk food. We have to look at nutritional value for food. We have to start teaching kids. Because you teach the kids, they're the ones who are going to come home and tell the parents, Mommy, no, that's not good for you. Not many of us know how to read nutritional labels. We don't know servings. We might say the serving is 150 calories. Oh, that's good. But then we don't realize that it's 3 servings or 4 servings in that package. So you end up with 450 calories, which is an entire gym session, without even realizing.
So your argument is then for you would put forth a national health insurance scheme. You're talking also about a national diet plan to be rolled out probably on television and in schools, etc. Am I correct?
Right.
You talked about Jamaica Move. So does that mean that that is something that you would continue on with the whole physical activities, etc.? But you talk about primary care, so you would move more money into primary health care so that there can be accessibility to further screenings across Jamaica. Is that what you're saying today?
screening has to be a priority. So, like I said, is eat right, exercise, and screen. And those are the pillars of health that we have to educate every single Jamaican about. The eating right is where you're going to get that nutrition aspect, teaching. And it's proper thing, not these billboards that are up now, eat your vegetables. What that mean? Nobody really knows. What's a serving of vegetables? I doubt how many people now can tell you what is a serving of vegetables.
What is a serving of vegetables?
Who really knows? Some people will say that it's they will go by a cup size. So, but the type of foods that you eat with the vegetables are important as well. A lot of the fried foods, we have to cut back on that. Using oil again, and reheating the oil, you're changing the chemical nature of the oil into trans fat, which is the worst type. And then people tend to, so if you look at a thing like fruits, people tell you that, I eat a lot of fruits because fruits are good for you. But then fruits are sweet because they have sugar. So during mango season, the hospitals see a lot of diabetics.
Oh, yes.
Why?
So you say the diabetic, them Nyam the mango, them?
Mango, one bucket of mango. And then, what happens after that. And then things like nuts. People say nuts are healthy fats. But nuts have a lot of calories. Lots and lots of calories. One handful of nuts has a lot of calories. And you can sabotage all of your diet by eating.
I want to ask you a question. Are you big on the weight loss surgeries? Yes, Jamaica, if you want the body them where you do the BBL them doctor does?
Well, you see, that is not weight loss, that is cosmetic. And I will make deals with my patients to lose weight, and I'll give them a discount for every pound they lose before they do the surgery, because I believe that cosmetic surgery is not weight loss surgery. You have to find a way to change your diet. So I don't do the BBL, but I do lipo.
You do the cosmetic or you do
I do both. So I do the liposuction and the tummy tucks and so on. But I do the bariatric surgeries, which reduce the size of the stomach, or putting in a balloon in the stomach to reduce how much food you can eat. Or we do the medical weight loss with the injections.
That is the Ozempic?
That type, yeah.
You do the Ozempic?
Well, it's done at the office, yeah. Not me personally.
So that Ozempic thing, is it a good thing?
Well, put it this way. I have seen a lot of people struggling with weight, and they find it so much easier to lose the weight in no time at all.
Oh, so with the Ozempic, so about in 3 months, 6 months, what would they look like?
It depends on where you're coming from. So the more weight that you have on, the more weight you lose. So
but I hear it come with a lot of side effects.
Not really. The side effects usually come when you eat badly. So if you eat a lot of food that stays in your stomach for a long time, that is when you would feel the bloating and the burping and so on. If you eat a lot of carbs, you can get bad diarrhea. But it's usually the stuff that you're supposed to stay away from that that will cause the side effect. But most times it's like nausea that they get, and that goes after a while. But I've seen patients lose, like 70 pounds on it in 6 months and 5 months and so on. But of course, if you are a smaller weight, then I think reasonable 8 pounds a month, 6 to 8 pounds a month works.
Okay. So, but do you think so if people are out there and they believe that they need to get on a weight loss regime, they can consult you to either do the that kind of thing, or them can do you said something about
we have the bariatric stuff, the balloon and the surgeries and the medical weight loss. But you know, one thing I always tell anyone who comes to me is that whatever I do for you, you will lose weight. The problem is, how are you planning on keeping it off? Because weight regain, like I said, the fat cells are always there producing hormones, trying to get you back. Your metabolism will slow down after significant weight loss. And sometimes our habits, if we don't permanently change our habits, then the weight can come back easily. I'll tell patients this: you're building a plane when you're on our weight management program for whatever it is. You're building a plane to take off. Building up the habits and the decisions, the lifestyle changes. You cannot, when you're in the sky, start pull off the wings off the plane. You cannot go back to where you were, or else you're going to crash. It's as simple as that. So no matter what you do, you have to make some changes. You have to find out, first of all, where are the calories coming from. You may say you hardly eat, and for some people that is true. But then when they snack or they binge eat or they comfort eat, they take in a lot of calories that cancel out everything that they've been doing. And going to the gym is not necessarily going to make you lose weight. Going to the gym makes you fitter and healthier overall, but your body will adjust so that it starts to save energy when you come from the gym. So overall, in that 24-hour period, whether you go to the gym or not, you're not burning that many extra calories. So the big thing is how you eat. So it starts from the supermarket, what you're putting in the trolley when you go market, where you're taking up, you know, is not the, is going to be more the bananas, the sweet potatoes and those things.
But all sweet potato can buy now, because one time you could have get sweet potato for $80, $100 a pound. A $250, $300 a pound for sweet potato now, Dr. Daz. A $400 a pound for piece of yam.
I don't even know what to say is when people tell me they can't eat healthy again, because it's only rice alone and flour really not moving as fast as the local produce.
I want to ask you a question. There was a recent research that came out that stated that women who does not get pregnant and breastfeed are more likely to have breast cancer. You know about that research, Dr. Daz?
Well, it has been around for some time, you know, and what they realized was that nuns, Catholic nuns, had a higher rate of breast cancer than other women. And then when they looked at it, they realized that in the women that they were who had children, that was where the difference really was. So it looks like that little break where you have the kids and you're lactating and so on, that eases off the hormonal pressure off the breast. So there's a lower risk. That's just one theory. We're not sure why exactly.
So they're saying that probably those who are more likely to be celibate have a higher risk.
Well, I don't know about the celibate part.
Because if you say none.
Kids?
You're not saying.
No, not kids. You can not be celibate but don't have kids. You're just careful or you choose not to have any.
Yeah, but nuns no celibate.
Yeah, but I'm talking about women in the general population.
Oh, well, so that's why it's
not the celibate. It's the pregnancy.
Oh, well, me consider the celibate, meaning they not really have sex and the breast them
no.
They feel up and they fix up. So probably that's why.
No, the pregnancy, they think because when you're pregnant, is mostly progesterone is being produced, not the estrogen, and then some of the oral contraceptive pills that they had just come out with when they just started in, I think, in the 1950s, that had estrogen in them. There was an increased risk of breast cancer with them. So maybe that hormone that plays a part. So you get a break when you have kids, and the progesterone takes over from the estrogen. But
so I wanted to touch on some more the blood work that men can do. Talk to the men tonight about the blood work they can do rather than using the finger to do the prostate. You can demonstrate how you do the blood work?
Yeah, give me a second now.
Yeah,
You want me to go and get the thing?
Huh?
You want me to go and get the thing?
Yeah, go and get the thing that you do for the men with prostate cancer now, Jamaica. I think we need to, so he's saying that he no longer need to insert a finger in the, what to do the prostate. And a lot of men do watch this program. So there is also, guys, come over YouTube. He's going to show you what he does. I think it's called the PSA, the thing. So I want you guys to come and see what he's going to do now, rather than he's going to do an examination. And I want you all to see it, right? I want you all to see it. Rather, if I'm gone, the PSA test. So he's going to show you how it works. Men in particular needs to see this. There's a true me not talking a mix up tonight and 8 or 9,000 people over here. Hi, Comrade Heather, how are you? So I'm going to get the digital exam to come back to show you all how it is done. This is what we're talking about, the next health minister who knows about the situation. Right? Are you guys enjoying the discussion tonight? Are you guys enjoying the discussion tonight? Let me know if you're enjoying the discussion tonight. You remember, bless up the super chat or if you want bless me, Zell, call me and me give it to you. Or if you want bless the cash app, you can bless it. These are interesting discussions, So he should be back anytime soon. And every night we have to discuss the politics, We discuss the politics and talk about it little. We discuss the politics, talk about it little, and we come now discussing the issues of health. Because the reality is many of you cannot get these discussions at hand, and our health comes first. I'm gone. So rather than do the anal exam, you can do the PSA exam, Jamaica. All right? The PSA exam is very a good way of doing it. And you hear him talk about the Ozempic. So a lot of people out there, I hear that the Ozempic is kind of expensive. But if you don't have you learn a lot, don't it? All right, no problem. Dr. Daz, you ready again? Him soon come. Yeah, guys, so I'm going to get this thing to discuss it. Thank you, Celebrity Foxy. Thank you. Remember to bless up the super chat, guys. I'm going to take what I see somebody calling me. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Good night, Andre.
Yes.
Can you ask Dr. Dal vision of the hospital in work.
Dr. Daz is a private doctor. He's a private doctor. But he will give out his information before the class is done. All right?
Okay, because I'm calling from St. Mary.
All right, darling. Let me go back to Dr. Daz now. I'm going to do the instructions. All right?
Yeah.
All right, get back, Dr. Daz. Yes, Dr. Daz.
Boy, today's an unfortunate day. I don't have any other tubes. I brought all of them to the office. But pretty much normally when you're drawing blood, you need a needle and syringe. And you would have to put a little tourniquet, a little glove or something there, elastic, until the veins swell up and then you pull blood from the vein. And a lot of people are afraid of needles. Plus the needle stick, it hurts, and if you have to get stick multiple times, that's a challenge. So this device is actually the substitute that we have now. And if I had the tube would attach right here.
Yes.
And all you do is just peel off this sticker right here. You stick it onto your skin like that. And then when you plunge this, it deploys some little tiny needles that pierce the skin, but you don't feel any pain at all because it doesn't go down to the level of where the nerves are. And then the blood will just flow into a small tube.
Yes.
And we have some modern machines now that they actually will use that very small volume of blood. And that is what we use to run the tests. And they're very accurate. They've been rigorously tested. A lot of times when I tell people this thing, they don't believe. And they'll talk about, I don't know if you've ever heard about Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos.
No, tell us.
She was on Forbes magazine, youngest female billionaire, and she had come up with this company called Theranos where they would just use a small volume of blood to run a lot of tests. So she got a lot of funding, and she collect millions of dollars, and she had a valuation of a couple billion US until they found out that the machines didn't work. And it was a massive fraud, and she went to jail. So we have to be telling people that the technology exists. It's FDA approved, and the device itself is FDA cleared. So it's not something that is a fly by night. We have tested it, here and in the Bahamas. We actually did a health fair in the Bahamas, the group that I was working with, and the Prime Minister and the Minister of Health were there, and they gave a resounding endorsement because we screened over 70 men, picked up a couple of cancers, but we had men lining up to come and get screened because this thing here, the novelty of it, it's no stick,
you're saying
no finger.
That men no longer need to fear that rectal exam that they needed to do. They can now come. So does your office
without any needle? No.
So your office. So how much to do this PSA test?
Well, this is 8,500. This is an introductory rate. This is only for the Jamaican market, really, because I convinced them that they can't use the same US pricing. But when you look at this, you come in, you get the test. Otherwise, you would have to go to a doctor, pay for that consultation, get a lab request, go to the lab to draw the blood. The lab would send back the results to the doctor, and then you would have to go back to the doctor to pick up those results. So it's when you add up doctor fees and transportation and the inconvenience and all of that, I think it's a fair price to say you can just come one place, or we can actually go to people. Like we just did a health fair, and we screened about 25 men. They were just lining up, some of them came down, they wanted to check to see if this thing really was painless as they said it was. And then, we are coming up with some other tests now where we can check for diabetes and cholesterol. For the woman, that's going to be important because if with insulin resistance, that's a sign of PCOS. And then checking the thyroid, especially with, as you pointed out, I didn't even look at the numbers. 1.5 million Jamaicans are overweight. How many of them are really due to their thyroid? And how many of them are developing diabetes? So we're screening for diabetes, we can screen for thyroid, but that should come on stream shortly. But for now,
so what is the
prostate.
success rate for the PSA? Is it, how accurate is it?
Extremely accurate. The correlation is, about 96, 98%, which is where you really want the test to be. So if your PSA is high, it's going to show that your PSA is high. It's not going to show that it's low. It
What
may
PSA
show that the PSA
prostate
is a blood prostate-specific antigen. That is what you screen for in the blood test. Because the prostate produces PSA, which helps to liquefy the semen so it's not as thick. But the PSA sometimes get out into the bloodstream. Now, if you have a big prostate, your PSA is going to be high. Like if you have BPH, like I said, the prostate can grow over time and get bigger from the size of that guinea to, a tangerine or orange or a grapefruit.
So
you expect that PSA to be higher. But if you have cancer cells, the cancer cells produce lots of PSA. The problem, though, that we have is that a lot of the data that is out there and the reference that we have is coming from studies out of the Scandinavian countries in Europe, Norway, Sweden, and so on, and Japan. We don't have a lot of studies with black men to show what their PSA should really be. So when you look at a PSA to say it's the normal range is 0 to 4, right? If my PSA is 3.8, I am worried because for my age, I shouldn't have a big prostate producing a PSA of 3.8.
So on average, what should the PSA be?
Depends on your age. So it
so
depends
like
on your
me,
age.
who am I 33? What should my PSA look like?
It should be 1 or close to 1, under 1 or close to 1, under 2, I would say. If you're in your 40s, it should be really be closer to 2 to 3. But then, as you get older, so in your 50s and 60s, if you say a PSA of 3 or 4, some people may have a PSA of 5 with BPH. That is when you start to look to see whether or not it's BPH versus prostate cancer. And
so
then
when you see a PSA of 5 or more, or 3 point, as you say,
so it's best for your doctor to interpret it. Because like I said, I am 43. And if my PSA came back at 3.8, that is still within the quote-unquote normal range of 0 to 4. But I would be worried because my prostate is not supposed to be big enough to be producing a 3.8. Now, if I am in my 50s, where I expect my prostate to be getting bigger, that 3.8 is fine. But I am going to have a little bit of concern with it if it's high normal. So it depends. You have to. This is how we interpret these results, and you have to. There's another thing you have to look at how fast the PSA increases. So you do it this year, if it's 1, and then next year it's 3.9, something wrong. Even though it's still within the normal range. So how fast it's moving make a difference. There are a lot of little things, but you can't know this unless you screen. And then if you screen and find prostate cancer early, then you will have a disease that is easier to treat, to cure, and with less complications. I may not need surgery or anything like that.
Wow, this is an interesting discussion, Jamaica. So you're very concerned about how many average Jamaican women have cancer and they're undetected.
Not just the women. In Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we're going to focus on the women. And that's what that scenario that you just described is unfortunate.
Like how your mammogram machine is down, where would you recommend for them to come get?
Cancer Society has I think they have a pretty good rate. I think it's 5.5 or 6.5 that they have.
And there's nowhere cheaper than that?
I think that's the cheapest. That's the
Wow.
cheapest. But I'm hoping to be up and running next week. So
when you are up and running, how much you charge to do the breast cancer, the mammogram test?
it's usually 8.5, but then we may do a couple free as well. And last year we did, I think we did close to 200 mammograms free, you know, because the time we couldn't run it in the time for October, so we had to extend it. So even in November we were doing free mammograms. You know, just because of the demand, we didn't want to say we had it out there. So I'm very careful now as to how many I'm gonna say that we're gonna do free. But you know, we offer a service and we just ask people that if you can afford to pay and free up one of the free spots to someone who genuinely can't afford to pay. It just kind of
like always, you know, think you probably should cut it in half and have more people come.
Some people can't afford it even when it's half.
Oh.
It's a serious, even if you do 4,000, 4,500, you know, it's some people still can't afford it.
Well, that is very worrying.
And I think it's something that we have to look at even with the healthcare system. Those who can afford to pay, if they're gonna get better service and good service, they should pay. And there are some people who they can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones where you use the paying people to subsidize those who can't. But how you do that now is not charging them at the point of service. This is where a health insurance scheme would come in. So if you're employed and your employer is giving you health insurance, then that is what you should be paying for the service for at the hospital. And then if you are somebody who can't afford it, that's where your government card would come in. So when you present at the hospital now, everybody all of a sudden becomes a private patient and you get treated like a private patient because the hospital is getting that money from wherever the source of the insurance is to take care of the patient. So you don't have to be going out to go buy with prescription to buy your antibiotics outside. If your leg break, you don't have to go be buying plate and screws and waiting months before you can get your surgery and so on. You know, that's how a well-run health service should be, where you don't pay at the point of care, because a lot of times, you know, emergencies can come up on people, and really and truly how life hard now, a lot of people don't have a little thing put aside in case of an emergency. They just can't afford it.
So question, are you still at Windsor Medical?
Yeah, I just stepped down as from managing. You know, I'm focusing on just the medical part of it now and my extracurricular activities outside of medicine.
You mean your extracurricular activity being in Southeast St. Catherine?
Indeed.
Oh, okay. So how can the people reach Windsor Medical again? Tell them.
We're on Instagram at
no,
Windsor.
not for them. All people now use Instagram.
Write down this number: 455-4527.
455-4527. Yeah, you're there, Jamaica.
Call our WhatsApp.
Love you.
If you call and through WhatsApp, because every time I come on this show, the phone lines get crazy. You have a massive following, Andre.
Me have a massive following. I don't know about that.
Well, I tell you, but if I don't say anything to my staff and I should go into work tomorrow, they're going to ask me if I was on your show or what happened, because the phones will be blowing up. Guaranteed.
Here the number, Jamaica: 455-4527. If you and what services you really offer at Windsor Medical?
Oh, a lot. So no, we have our GP, we have in urgent care, we have the lab services, we have colonoscopies, endoscopies, nutritional service. The mammogram should be up next week. And of course, the weight loss services are still there. There's a plastic surgeon we work with, urologist, orthopedic surgeon, internal medicine. And we're doing like the IV therapy now with the vitamin shots and boosts and so on. The
So,
peptides.
does your company have a unit for like diabetics and to deal with those people?
Right, the internist and the GP, they manage a lot of those patients with chronic diseases. And it's a comprehensive thing. So it's not just to say you get your pills and go home. The nutritionist is there as well to help you to formulate a better diet. Sometimes you might have to work with a psychologist, because sometimes, stress is a life. You want to find a better coping mechanism than binging and so on. Get rid of your stress so that you're sleeping better. Your insulin gets better control of the blood sugar that way when you're rested and you're not anxious.
So you basically run 1 minute hospital.
We don't look at it that way. But yeah, we have a pretty decent suite of services, and it's still primary care, because hospital is secondary care. And this is where even though I'm a surgeon and I'm tied to a hospital generally for doing surgery, this is where my passion really kind of developed, when I realized that you make a greater impact on people's lives when you keep them out of hospital by keeping them sick. That's where the whole concept of the wellness comes in. You keep people well, because health is not just not being sick. You have to be emotionally, spiritually, socially, happy, and then healthy, and the pillars, like I said, the eating, the exercise, and the screening. That's what Windsor is about, and I would love if I would have the opportunity now to translate that into a national policy to shape Jamaica, because I know it works so well for my patients, and I've seen it work in other countries, that if we have a national policy that focuses, rather than building and cutting ribbons in hospitals, we are focusing on the wellness of the people. I'm just saying that the best place. You're not drying me out tonight.
Oh, me not dry you, not trade.
We come here to talk about health. So what I'm saying is that you focus on wellness, keeping the people healthy so that they don't go to the hospital. That is how you keep a population healthy and productive and happy. That is ultimately what you want. People need to be happy.
Will you offer stress test?
No, I don't. That's something that we're looking into. ECGs and stress tests.
Me never know that people go to hospital for do stress test.
That's when you're checking your heart.
How much is it for a month of Ozempic?
Starts at $35,000.
Huh?
It starts at $35,000.
See a month supply of Ozempic?
It's an expensive medication, and that's probably
but
one of
you
the
sound cheap.
I know.
Jamaica, film 1 month 35,000. 35, and one of people go and call now because them here say the Ozempic has 60,000, 65 and 70,000. He's offering the Ozempic rate Jamaica at
starting.
Oh,
because the dose will go up.
It
the dose will go, but it is. But I mean, it's very high doses you would get. I mean, the program is different.
So people who are diabetic, how good is the Ozempic in controlling the diabetes?
Some people are on it because of the diabetic control that it gives them. They don't necessarily want to lose weight, but it gives them excellent diabetic control.
Oh, good. You will get back your diabetic to under 5?
Yeah.
Really?
Like that.
I wonder if we must try.
But you can pass through. No, I will check your blood pressure same time too.
Oh, well, I'm sure me not have blood pressure problem, but go up Jamaica, I'm really appreciative for you, Dr. Dawes. And it look like it's every 6 months him come Jamaica. So
no, man, I said I told like I told you, and I said it here in the conversation. I said it tonight again that a couple of people who have seen me on your show, they appreciated the advice, and they have come in and caught some diseases at an early stage. I singled out that cancer patient, but there are other people who they came in for the checkup and found some other things, But you're doing a service, and I think that I probably, if you will allow me, come a little bit more often than the every 6 months.
Well, Dr. Dawes, the program is here. I don't.
I'm not seeing the comments to see whether or not people actually. Well,
the people them say need to come often, don't it, Jamaica? Him need to. His office number is 455 45. Say if you did that over here, like some other people over here every Friday night, you would have mash up more already, but and I say nothing to you. Hey, if you did over here like some of them where my brother will come every Friday night, see him mash up Portland already and him not start. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Counselor Troop.
Yes. I just want to say that we have a doctor in the house and next minister of health in the house.
Oh, you have a good minister of health?
In the house soon.
Oh, yes. All right, Counselor Troop. You hear Counselor Troop is saying we have
all right, Counselor.
Yes. I'm telling you, some of you wouldn't have to campaign this ad if only did use partner draw TV, But I not say nothing to you. I leave on to no own judgment. No, Jamaica, them can have a beautiful platform. Like that's why I don't me shut my mouth. Me not go say. To certain people in the PMP who don't use this platform, you can't go on there. Judgment going to take anyhow. Yes, Dr. Dawes, what you saying now?
Yeah, man. So we have to have some discussions off camera to see if I can just slot in sometime.
Okay. Can majority of your constituency watch my program? Big up Waterford, big up Bridgeport, big up Edgewater, big up Portsmouth, big up Independent City, big up Garvin Mead and my constituency,
Yeah, man. Big up all of Southeast St. Catherine.
Yeah, big up, big Bridgeport, all one a day. Lord Jesus. Hello, good night. Yes.
What are like medication therapies for like people who are like people that highly sexual active and like don't want to catch any form of STD?
People who are sexually active and don't want to catch there is PrEP. Is PrEP or PEP, doctor?
Pre-exposure prophylaxis, PrEP.
But I know that you don't it's not a government required thing. So I'm asking what are his views on that to make it it's only administered to people like who get raped or stuff like that. So I'm asking him if
you're asking if he would make PrEP mandatory?
Yes.
All right, I'll make him address that.
I didn't get the question fully.
He's asking for about PrEP, if you would make PrEP mandatory for the population.
Well, all right. So PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is if you think that you may have an encounter where you're at increased risk of getting HIV, or you have been exposed, they usually give you the antiretroviral therapy afterwards as a precaution, prophylactic, we call it, just before the virus would set in to decrease the chance of getting infected. Human beings tend to push limits. So when morning after became available, a lot more people are using morning after because they moved away from using condoms to say, oh, just in case, I can always take the morning after. But ultimately, condoms are the way to go. So that is what I would push more than anything else, and then educate people about anything else.
Oh, so condom the way to go and educate. So, but you will make the PrEP more accessible, though.
But yeah, with everything, because that again is primary care. You know, you catch you stop the disease from before it becomes a problem, rather than later on you're talking about hospice care for full blown AIDS and the pneumonia and all of that stuff that come with it.
What about the dialysis therapy that they say you were working on? How is that going?
Well, you know, it's actually a manufacturer in Jamaica here. I sold him the idea that he could do it, and he made a couple of batches. They tested it at UA, and it is of good quality. So I believe peritoneal dialysis can become affordable here in Jamaica as an alternative to hemodialysis, because, you know, hemodialysis, where they actually draw the blood through the fistula, filter it through a machine and put it back in your body. That one is expensive and it's not readily available. Again, if you're talking about trying to get on dialysis in the public health system, you literally have to wait until somebody in one of those spots dies before you can, you know, get a seat in the dialysis unit at the public hospitals. Peritoneal dialysis is a little bit different. The fluid, you can do it at home, or you'd have to just buy some big bags like saline, that the drip that they would hang up, but they're like bigger bags. And you have a tube going into your belly that you keep and care, clean and so on, but you attach it, you run it in, and you can do it when you're sleeping or when you're at work, so you won't have to go to a dialysis center. You do it on your own time. And then it basically uses the body's, the lining of the abdomen as that membrane to filter out the waste. And then the fluid runs in, the waste filters into it, and it runs back up. So a lot of countries use it, and it's something that I believe can go to Jamaica. So now with this gentleman having made the solution here, the only person in Jamaica manufacturing it, and some tests successfully run at UA, the next thing is to try and see how we can get it into the public system, because that's where it would make some sense. But I may have to try and do it. As with most things that, you know, I try to introduce to Jamaica, I just have to try and do it in my private practice, and then hopefully it spreads elsewhere, you know.
Okay. Well,
so that's one of the projects that I'm currently working on right now.
Do you use stem cell therapy in your practice?
No, I don't. So stem cells, that's the rage right now when you're talking about like arthritis and so on. So when the baby is being formed in the mother, there are some cells there that you call stem cells that can turn into any cell in the body. Because remember, it's the same one set of cell from the sperm and the egg turn into bone and brain and fat and muscle and, you know, all the organs. So stem cells can turn into anything. And the idea is to find stem cells now, not from babies, of course, you know, that would be unethical, but there is some stem cell research with embryos that's taking place. But what we usually do is to get stem cells from our own bodies. So it could be the blood. You may still have some stem cells circulating in the blood, not or some people they harvest it from like the fat. So the fat cells and so on, you may get some, and then they may use it for like when you have inflammation, like you have a tennis elbow or you have arthritis or so on. You inject that mixture of stem cells that you would have drawn from the body into that area, and the hope is that it will turn into those cells that are damaged and repair them. So it will turn into cartilage or gristle in the knee, or it would fix the tendons in like a tennis elbow or Achilles tendon tear or so on. But I don't offer it. There are a couple of people who do it in Jamaica though, and there's some evidence that it works.
Okay. You hear there, Jamaica. Well, we are wrapping up tonight. There's so many people who want to talk about health. If you're free, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we can come back on a Saturday night and we can discuss all things health. Is that reasonable with you?
Reasonable.
Unless you have other engagements, extracurricular activities, as you call them.
Well, you know how it goes. You're still trying to juggle your personal life with the demands of politics, and then the patients. As much as you try to say, there are other doctors in the practice that will do the same thing. I do. They want to see me, and then they cost that they take long to see me. So I still have to juggle that.
So how are you going to manage when you turn Minister of Health? Because you can't perform surgeries then.
I don't know yet. I don't know. That's why some patients they tell me point blank that I have to sort them out before election, and they're very concerned as to when is election. But
Well,
I still will have to find some time to follow up at least my existing patients.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make sure that they're not pulling off the wings off the plane.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some succession planning, and part of that was me stepping down from managing the office.
Okay. All right. Well, Jamaica, that is Dr. Alfred Dawes, spokesperson of health on health and wellness and for the People's National Party and caretaker MP for Southeast St. Catherine. He'll be back before the end of October. It's not me say Jamaica, is him say. So uno hold him to account, hold him to account. But thank you, Dr. Aldaz, for coming, and walk good, stay blessed, and we'll see you again very soon.
Was that 28 accounts a while ago?
I don't know if you talk about 28 accounts.
All right, now I was just counting wrong. All right. Thanks for having me.
The number to get in at is 455 4527. Send a WhatsApp to inquire about the services and the cost. All right? 455 4527. And that is the Windsor Health Center. Thank you again, Dr. Dawes. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yes, Jamaica. I hope you all enjoyed that discussion just now. And we'll talk again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll talk. You guys enjoyed the discussion, Jamaica? I think we all enjoyed that discussion. Thank you. Thank you, Jamaica. And we will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And me not get no order from no phone, and me a watch, no phone, students, you see anybody will never get them food the last time, reach out to me. All who never get them food, me know somebody not getting the food, that's why I no order. Please reach out to me so me and can talk. All right? God bless you all and see you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.